in an urban wasteland overrun with zombies. A medi-tech with a cure for the zombi-phage virus has crash-landed in the heart of the city. Nearby, 2 squads of guardsmen are making their way to investigate the crash site. Will they be able to make their way to rescue the survivors in time? Will the people of Warhammer be cured of the zombi-phage? Can this group of survivors make their daring escape as they traverse the city of the living dead?
What's up, nerds? Welcome back. Today we have a special spooky battle report featuring guardsmen, zombies, demons of Nurgle. Did I miss anything?
Madness.
And madness. Yes. So today we're playing a 100% custom scenario. So you got a hint of it through the intro. So we have on the planet. What's the planet called?
I did not name the planet at all. The planet is any planet you want it to be on. But more importantly, I named the city Vorsicht.
Vorsicht?
Vorsicht. V-O-R-S-I-C-H-T. So if you speak a different language, you might get that little Easter egg.
I might have to Google that later. But anyways, our custom scenario, written up by Andrew. It's kind of very narrative based. So we have no stratagems.
No stratagems.
No army special rules.
Get rid of it.
No detachment rules.
Too much.
Just everything that's on the data sheets. And all the rules you need to play are detailed right here. And you can download them with the link in the description if you want to play this at home. So let's talk about our first scenario. The board is set. We have dense city over here.
Industry right here. And finally, some fortifications and, most importantly, an escape vehicle. Why is there an escape vehicle? Well, you'll find out shortly. So, this whole scenario basically involves some guardsmen that were left behind on the planet, unnamed, in the city, Vorsicht, of course. They are fighting for the good of the Imperium, even though the planet is more or less falling to the zombie plague. Still, they fight on. They fight the good fight. What happened was they saw a craft fall from the sky. Chaos took it out. It would happen to be that one you see there. So, being the good loyal guardsmen they are going to investigate and hoping to rescue any survivors. Now, the survivors include one very important medi-tech. He is carrying what could potentially be a cure for the zombie plague on this planet. They don't know that yet, but once they get there, the plan is to rescue them, make their way over to the Valkyrie, and escape. However, there's a problem. The Valkyrie is not fueled. It needs gas. So, they need to turn on the pumping station. So we'll make our way across the city, come over here to the pumping station, get this turned on, and then they have to eventually come here to the Valkyrie to escape. But obviously it needs a little bit of time to fuel up, so they're going to have to hold the line from the forces of Nurgle until that happens. Because Papa Nurgle doesn't like it when people stop his plagues, refuse his gifts. It's not what he's about, so he's going to try to stop them. And that's the basic gist.
Nice. Also, who will be playing Imperium and who is playing the forces of Nurgle?
Well, both of us. This is a cooperative game where we both try to win the day through sheer guts and glory of humanity. So we will both be playing the guardsmen in different spots. There will be rules that you will find for the zombies and everything else, all the bad guys. There will be program behavior for the most part. And it was pretty simple to follow, I hope. And it should be pretty fun.
All right. Well, I'm super excited to get this started. So I think we're just going to jump right into the first phase of this epic escape. So, we as the players get the first turn against the game.
The rationale behind that is that the guardsmen have been tracking the plane as a crash. They have come across a wing, so they know they're on the right path. And the scene opens as they enter that ruined building to try to get over to here.
Exactly. And then we got some Auspex markers scattered throughout the board. We can investigate those, possibly get some better gear, or maybe some allies, or maybe...
More enemies!
More enemies, yes. But I think we do want to investigate those so we can get some more help for later on in the scenario. So yeah, I'm just going to go right into moving. So we're going to move up this guard squad 6 inches.
As he does that, I can say that these guys will not move from their position. The gist is, I'm going to sit tight. I'm not going to be moving or shooting or doing anything unless they get too close for me to deal with, and then I have to shoot them.
All right. So now we're going to roll into the shooting phase.
Yes.
This infantry squad is going to fire all their weapons into this unit of zombies. Hitting on 4s. And wounding on 5s. Because they are super tough.
It is surprisingly or unsurprisingly hard to kill the undead. Well, they are more or less behind a wall, so they do get some cover.
So 6
we'll
up.
start with a 6+ cover save. Uh-oh.
Oh, you stop it.
I'm on your team, I thought. And a 5+ feel no pain. Uh-oh. Well, let's just start off the show with 3 of those.
Well, we got the last pistol from the sergeant, which misses, and then we have the flamer, which is a D6 torrent. 6
There
shots,
we go.
yes, and
Strength 4.
strength 4. So looking for 5s again.
4s.
Oh, they're only toughness 4.
4 is 4.
So we have 4 coming at you.
That's okay. We killed 3 of them.
Excellent.
Good start. Set them on fire.
So then our other unit will fire, same deal, but we have the frag launcher. I'll just start with that. 2 shots. 1 hit.
That's a wound.
1 wound.
Feel no, well, cover save, which he fails. So feel no pain, which he passes.
And then we have the las guns.
These are wounding on 5s.
Yeah.
And a cover save. Nothing. And so feel no pain. Oh. Well, you got 1.
Got 1. And then we have the sergeant with the last pistol. He misses.
Alright, well, the 2 tough ones live. The 2 ogre-looking big fellows.
Now, I am feeling a little bold. Oh, you can shoot over there as well, right?
I can, but with the rules I've made, I don't want them to be coming at me. So I'm actually going to not shoot.
All right. So would it be unwise for me to charge?
No, you currently outnumber them, and charging would mean you go first. So
And they're going to charge at me, so...
they're going to come straight at you, yes.
Yeah. So I think maybe we're just going to go right ahead and do a charge.
Be bold, guardsmen!
A charge roll. So the first unit on the left is charging. I get a 12.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And the thing is that part of the rules for this, we're doing the scenery a little more realistic as far as movement goes. So we want to restrict movement to only through doorways and windows big enough to actually get a body through, such as this broken one over here, or even any of these are big enough. But we're trying to make it really
Thematic.
intense.
Yeah.
And thematic and
Claustrophobic and tight. And this unit, I guess they can't charge. So they'll stay put. So we're going to go into the fight phase. In our very first fight phase of the game, all the guardsmen only managed to land 1 wound on the poxwalkers, which Andrew rolled a 6 on, feel no pain. And when the poxwalker fought back on the guardsman, he didn't score any hits as well. So the unit was tied up in combat, going into the zombies' first turn. Zombies' turn.
Yep, the zombies now get a turn. So, some of the program behavior for this involves, depending on where proximity to enemies, or running, or gunfire, of course, because that attracts the zombies. So basically, unfortunately, since it is a small table, everything's going to be coming. Now, they don't move their normal movement. These are brain dead, after all. They're just zombies. So they're all going to have D6 inches of movement.
Okay.
So if you want to do those ones over there, I'll do these ones over here. The direction they move is directly towards the closest unit making noise, basically.
So based on the program behavior, the zombies moved up as close as they could to that unit of guardsmen that was making all the noise, d6 inches per unit.
Okay, so that's the movement phase. Then they go into the shooting phase. There's no guns. Charge phase.
If they are within charge distance, they're going to attempt to charge.
Well, these ones are going to charge and make it.
Yeah, we don't have to go for that one. Let's immediately switch over to Sam's dice here. We're going to do charge roll, point out a unit.
These guys.
Those guys. 1-6.
Oh, they are in.
All right. 7.
7. They fail.
Good.
And over
5 inches.
5 inches. Failed.
Good.
And I think, oops, that is, I guess these guys are technically a 12.
3.
Okay, good.
Those are the slowest moving of them all, so not a bad thing, because that's also the largest group of them all.
In the fight phase, the first group of zombies that charged in managed to kill 1 guardsman, adding 1 to their number. Then the second group that charged in landed 2 wounds, which we only made 1 saving throw, which killed yet another guardsman. When we fought back, we only managed to kill 1 poxwalker in total. Things aren't looking very good for the Imperium.
Help?
Well, now that I have heard the sounds of gunfire, I will attempt to help, but you also have another squad. And also, you should probably fall back.
Yes.
Before you do that, we got close enough to discover this one.
Oh,
What is it, Sam? Roll a dice.
it is.
Roll high. Hey, that's something good.
1 more dice. It is 4.
4 is guardsmen. You
More
found more
guardsmen.
survivors.
Yes.
So for rolling for a unit of guardsmen, I brought in Death Corps of Krieg with a sergeant, a flamer, a sniper, and 3 las guns.
Okay, so we got extra help over here. How close do we have to be again to discover the Auspex scan?
Well, I thought a cool idea would be if you can't really see it, or if it's like through a wall, 6 inches, or if you can visually see it, 12 inches.
In our movement phase, the guardsmen engaged by the 2 units of poxwalkers fell back to allow our reinforcements to take a shot at them. The crash site survivors moved towards a large archway to take up a better firing position. At this point, we also introduced a new rule which forces smaller units of poxwalkers to combine into one larger unit, as they would naturally herd together. This also helps the gameplay move along quicker. The Death Corps moved up closer to the ruins nearby in hopes to discover more assets on the Auspex blip, but sadly, nothing was to be found. With the other unit of guardsmen that did not fall back, I moved them up and close to the blip outside of the ruin they were held up in, and sadly, this too was revealed to be nothing.
So now we're going to go into the shooting phase. These guys fell back. They can't shoot, but these guys definitely can, and they're going to put everything into this now big unit of 10 poxwalkers.
The guardsmen opened up on the poxwalkers, and despite having an extra 3 shots for blast, the grenade launcher failed to kill any. Luckily, the rest of the squad's las guns did some work.
So, 2 go down from the las gun shots.
We have the Death Corps of Krieg units. We have a las pistol, a sniper rifle, 2 las guns, and a flamer.
And then the Death Corps opened up, and I scored 3 hits with the flamer, which killed 2 poxwalkers. And then the las guns and las pistols scored no hits.
That's not the only thing that can shoot. Now, the group protecting the shuttle pilot here, or the special dude, are going to engage as well. They're not going to move out any further. They're still going to try to take cover, but they're going to do some stuff.
Next up, Andrew and the Kazarkin fired at the poxwalker unit directly in front of the ruin. The sergeant scored a hit and wound with his plasma gun, but per the usual, we keep rolling too high on the poxwalker feeling no pain, and it was shrugged. The remaining hotshot las guns failed to hit their target, and lastly, the hotshot volley gun opened up and was equally disappointing. We need to kill some of these zombies, and quick, before we get overwhelmed.
You know, I'm thinking maybe not charge.
You notice that that's not good.
Yes.
I mean, they still will strike first,
We can't fire Overwatch.
but you can't fire Overwatch. We also don't have stratagems for it. But you know what? We're just going to say everything can Overwatch at all times, because that...
Yeah. We're going to go into the movement phase of the
Zombies.
zombies.
In the chaos movement phase, a unit of zombies moved in on the Death Corps in the ruin, as well as the Kazarkin guarding the medi-tech by the lander wreckage. Another unit of zombies began making their way around the courtyard trees, and the furthest most unit only moved 2 inches, which hopefully will give us some breathing room as the guardsmen brace for this next attack.
Alright, so now we're going to go into the charge phase.
Yep.
I guess these guys are going to charge into them.
Yep, all of them are going to be attempting charges because they're all within range.
So this first unit, we rolled a 9.
And most certainly are getting there.
Back here, we got a 8. That is not close enough. And these guys are going to charge. They get a 7, and that is also not far enough. And this unit outside, have they moved towards your Kazarkin?
They move there too, so they are able to make a charge. That will not do it, though.
Not do it. All right. So let's just do the fight phase for this one unit that made it in.
Oh, wait, 9 inches totally makes it. My bad.
Oh, okay. I guess they do make it.
Uh-oh.
7.
In the fight phase, the Poxwalkers that charged the Death Corps scored 5 wounds, which killed 3 guardsmen, after we only made 2 armor saves. When they fought back against the zombies, they failed to kill any.
The zombies have made it to the crash survivors. Oh no. So now they're going to make some attacks. Thankfully not all of them, but enough. There's going to be 1, 2... Now there's going to be 7 of them attacking the survivors here.
And with the 7 Poxwalkers attacking the crash survivors, they scored 5 wounds on the Kazarkin. Unfortunately, that killed 2 of them after we failed 3 armor saves. And then when they fought back against the Poxwalkers, per the ongoing theme, they also failed to kill any of them.
Well, I do have 2 full squads that are ready, almost full squads that are. They can come out and they can, unleash some vengeance. These guys are in trouble. They're gonna fall back.
They should.
And they're gonna fall back towards that marker back there.
Sweet. As far as you can go, little guardsman.
The
Although, you know what I did do over here? I moved up to see what this was. I totally should have done it before, but that's okay. We're going to do it now. I say he was distracted, and now he's looking for help beyond the door. Is there help to be had? No. We are not in a good way, that's for sure.
Do I focus all my fire on one unit?
Just after Andrew fell back with the Kazarkin at the crash site, the first guardsman unit fired everything into the zombies near the Death Corps, and it managed to kill 3 of them.
Alright, so I think the next thing is this, whatever's left of this unit is going to have to continue firing into that unit.
Best target, yep.
And then the second unit fired all they had and scored 1 wound with the las guns, which killed a single Poxwalker. Everything else in that unit just failed to hit.
Charge phase.
Yeah, charge phase for us.
Do we want to charge?
You can pile both squads onto those remaining leaders over there.
Let's do it.
You're close enough.
Yeah.
For the narrative.
For the Emperor!
After making my charge roll, the 2 sergeants started off with their chain swords, and they only killed 1 because Andrew keeps rolling really well on those feel no pain rolls for the zombies. The rest of the guardsmen only scored 2 wounds, which luckily the Poxwalkers didn't shrug this time. When the Poxwalkers fought back, they managed to take out a single guardsman.
1 dies, and a zombie comes back.
Yep. Brains.
Alright, that will conclude this turn.
First I was worried there wouldn't be enough zombies. Now I'm like, ooh, there's a lot of them.
There are a lot of zombies, so we gotta make sure we roll good to get us out of this jam.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
So now it's the zombies' turn. Well, these guys are gonna move.
And in the zombies movement phase, they shuffled closer to the big blob of guardsmen, and then the other group moved closer to the crash survivors.
Alright, so now we're going to go into the charge phase. We have this unit of 4. They're going to charge into the Kriegsmen, but they will first fire Overwatch.
As will the Kazarkin.
And in the zombies charge phase, the Death Corps were charged by the smaller unit of zombies, but they managed to kill one of them with an Overwatch attack. The Shadow Survivors and the other guardsmen near the center were charged by the units of Poxwalkers nearby. In combat, a Kriegsman fell, leaving the sergeant standing alone. The Poxwalkers that charged the other guard squad failed to wound anyone, but unfortunately, the group attacking the crash survivors felled another Kazarkan. The lone Kriegsman sergeant killed a Poxwalker attacking him, and the guardsmen and the Kazarkan killed nothing in return. Then the last unit of zombies that was already engaged killed a guardsman and turned him into a zombie.
Bleh.
Ooh.
Okay. That's just how it's going to be.
That's just how it's going to be. All right, so it's the Imperium's turn. We are in a tight spot.
Very tight.
Very tight spot. What are we going to do?
Well, there's another blip there to discover and one over there, but you still have stuff in your way to get to that one. So
I think this Kriegsman is going to fall back.
yeah, he can break away.
Can you get close enough to that blip?
He sure can.
So you probably
In
can't
fact-
see, but there's actually still a blip under that ruin.
So he's going to make haste through the rubble, get to that point in the alleyway there, peek on inside, and what does he find, Sam? He found something good.
Something good. Come on, please be something really good. Oh my gosh! Woo! That is just what we needed.
This is very good news for us because the highest result on the good chart is Space Marines.
Do we want to go with assault intercessors?
We'll go with whatever infantry is in your collection.
Or intercessors? Or firstborns?
Well, you know, there's something right about here that starts with an A as well.
Aggressors with flamestorm gauntlets.
Yes, that is a very good thing to have in a city fight. Normally, I would have said probably something else with a special weapon, like something heavier, but flamers are pretty sweet right now because we're just fighting zombies.
Flamestorm gauntlets. And
Well, whatever. Same diff.
they're pretty good in melee as well.
They have mighty fists. So that was an excellent roll right there, my friends. Just been taking cover here. Apparently they've just been watching us.
Those jerks.
Like, really? You're just going to watch us? Come on now. Good news is, they can act.
They can.
And with the much needed help of the Space Marine aggressors arriving on the table, we began moving them to the fight at the crash site so the remaining survivors could fall back and leave that zombie horde to the capable hands of the Space Marines. Meanwhile, at the center of the table, the guardsmen squads fell back out of combat and started heading towards the crash site in an attempt to regroup with the rest of the survivors. And in the shooting phase, the aggressors eliminated 3 of the Poxwalkers, and they didn't pass their Feel No Pain rolls.
So that's going to be the end of our turn. Unless we want to charge in with the aggressors.
They're Space Marines, that's what they do.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, they're gonna charge in.
Give me that charge roll, nice and chunky.
Chunky, 7.
7 will do it.
And in the fight phase, the aggressors only killed 1 Poxwalker because we forgot to reroll our wound rolls for the weapons being twin-linked. And then all the Poxwalkers fought back and landed 1 wound against the aggressors, which we saved thanks to that 3-up save.
We just need some more Space Marines. That's all we really need.
Everybody needs more Space Marines.
So that's going to end our turn.
Yep.
Then going right into the movement phase, the zombies charged all the guardsmen nearby, and they did fire Overwatch, however, they did not score any wounds. In the fight phase, the unit of guardsmen surrounded by the zombies fared poorly, and as each unit attacked, they slowly turned, one by one, into the mindless living dead. The aggressors fared better, and killed 3 Poxwalkers, leaving 4 left. Lastly, the guardsmen near the center consolidated and fought the 2 Poxwalkers near them, failing to kill any, but instead adding 1 more to the ranks of the dead.
Back to us. Well, us being the guardsman's turn.
Back to the guardsmen.
Sweet. Well, I think you should fall back again. I think guys should start falling back this way,
I agree.
towards the Space Marines and relative safety.
We'll be stronger in numbers.
In the movement phase, the guardsmen moved up closer to the shuttle survivors. The other unit of 3 guardsmen would be left in the center, surrounded so that they would distract the horde and buy the rest of the survivors more time to get into position next turn. Lastly, the lone Death Corps sergeant came out of the nearby ruins to offer some aid.
So I guess the Death Corps sergeant will shoot his pistol,
Yep.
and he'll miss.
Sweet. Kazakin's going to show us how it's done. Good thing I did not overcharge, because that would be silly.
That would be I think that's all our shooting.
I got the technician. This last gun.
Oh, yeah.
Oop. Dropping my ice. Scores 2 hits. Shows everybody how it's done. And a wound. Headshot. So, yeah, this guy back here, he showed him what to do.
Nice.
Okay.
And in the fight phase, the aggressors managed to kill all but one of the zombies engaged with them.
I think those 3 guys are going to bite it.
They might. They just might. It is a zombie turn.
Yep. Do the zombie shuffle.
Do the zombie shuffle.
And as the name of the song implies, the zombies did shuffle closer to the guardsmen. And then in the zombies charge phase, they made their easy 2-inch charge. And then we went right into the fight phase, where, surprise, surprise, the guardsmen met their demise. And then the aggressors were up next.
Let's see what we can do here. That's a little better.
They're all hits. All hits.
And there's only 1 zombie left to cross. Reroll. And his 2 lanes.
Alright, he's super dead.
He sure is.
Well, that's good, because we could use those aggressors on our turn.
Yeah.
Speaking of which,
I think it's time to form a firing line.
I think this Kazarkin should advance to try to get close to this marker.
Well, once it gets within 12, you can see it. Just there.
Oh,
So, okay, we'll go there. Boop. What is it?
let's find out.
It's something good. It's a weapon cache. Let's go with weapons.
Weapon cache. Alright.
Alright, so a weapon cache means that you can send up to 2 guys over there to upgrade their weapons.
In our movement phase, the guardsmen fell back closer to the survivors. The lone Krieg sergeant charged forward for death and glory. And lastly, the aggressors moved up to get a clear shot at the horde. In our shooting phase, each unit fired. The Krieg sergeant failed to hit, but the aggressors incinerated 5 zombies with their flamestorm gauntlets. Then the other unit of guardsmen and the lone Kazarkin sergeant fired all of their weapons and took out another 5 zombies.
Into the charge phase.
It is the Krieg thing to do.
For death and glory. He scores a 7 on the charge.
Oh, that'll do it. He has range all day on that. He's just one heroic man.
With his power sword.
2
2
excellent.
hits.
I like to see. That's a chop.
1 chop.
Does it get through? Oh,
Does not.
rats.
Apparently it needs some sharpening.
The zombies close in.
And take him out.
Yeah, we can assume that. They do make a pile in. And it is time for zombies. How far do they shuffle? 2 inches.
That's what I like to see.
Merp. Alright, I guess they'll attempt to charge.
Yeah.
6 is not going to do it.
Hey, I think we caught a break.
I think we finally caught a break. We got our act together here, and we can make a turn of this.
On our final turn, we moved the aggressors up closer to get in range for shooting, and between them and the remaining guardsman squad, we managed to wipe out that last unit of zombies, which cleared the board completely and opened up a clear route to the extraction zone.
Alright, I think we can reform up a little bit and make our way to the next zone.
Yeah. So with that, we gather up our survivors. Do we want to get this weapons cache?
Yeah, why would we pass that up?
Yeah. We should upgrade
Upgrade some guardsmen.
some guardsmen. So we will upgrade 2 guardsmen with this weapons cache with a grenade launcher and a melt-a-gun.
Give us some more oomph in the shooting, provided they hit.
And with that, we'll move on to the second phase.
And so concludes part 1 of the City of the Living Dead. As laid out in the beginning of this video, we are just getting started. Now the party of survivors must continue their way across the industrial sector of the city and find a way to activate the fueling pumping station. Once completed, they then must venture on towards the abandoned Valkyrie on the landing pad to make their daring escape. Will they manage to evacuate and deliver the cure for the zombi-phage virus to the Imperium? Will they be delivered more help, or will they only uncover more terrors? Stay tuned, as the next part of this spooky narrative will be coming your way soon. And to ensure you don't miss the next chapter, subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, don't forget to hit that like button and let us know what you think of this battle report in the comments below. Your support and interactions really do help these videos get around, which allows the channel to grow. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.